of the Year and ACF Educator of the Year. In the presence of royalty. Well done, well deserved, actually. Good job.
Yeah.
With their peasants.
I'm joking.
Put that in March.
And then Reese also went to Zionsville and presented our culinary programs to their students.
It's fabulous.
Was it fabulous?
I've never been in a.
Anything else to add? We're still here. I mean, we can add that we're less than 3 months away from the end of the year.
Yay.
All right.
Oh, we can add on there my Forta token finally worked for the first time in 4 months. It's been reset 39 times, I think. So I finally can log in.
Your computer?
Yeah.
No
Well,
way.
like most of the functions on it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
mine still does it.
No way.
This one's new.
It just did it. Forta token. I'm in there, guys. I'm part of the team now.
You're official.
You sure you want to do that?
No.
You're in it to win it now. Oh, last time we talked about difficulties with students missing assignments. 50% rule making that harder. I actually, before the end of term 3, started out with an email to each family, which got me about 3 responses, which helped out of about 20. And then started making phone calls and got about 5 more, so about 8 out of the 20 students got, I would say,
That, were 20 that were
85%.
failing?
Huh?
20 that were failing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, once I went and marked everything from 0 to 50%.
Okay. Okay.
Probably 90% were not failing anymore, but at least 8 out of those 20 did do the assignments.
Okay. Okay.
if you're looking for the true statistics. So.
It's so annoying. 'cause I
True
keep the zero in there
statistics.
too.
Sorry.
Oh, you're
Don't
fine.
record that.
We'll edit it.
Have that edited from the film. Thank you.
So, I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have any better?
I do the
strategies
same
on
thing.
getting
I
to
keep it at
complete?
0 until the last minute. Because I want them to see the real grade that they would
I'm
really
seeing
get.
right.
Yeah.
And there's a
And
pain in
the
the butt
ones-
for us last minute to have to change everything.
It is a lot of work to change it to the last minute. But I don't know, there's some part of me that feels like the kids that do care, when they see that and you talk to them, they'll,
Yeah,
It
no,
does
I
make a
think the
difference,
one-on-ones
but-
Because their
was
mom
good,
is
too.
like,
Yeah.
you better get this stuff in. I just
Exactly.
want
Thank you,
they're
Mom.
missing.
One-on-ones with students.
yeah, there are one-on-one conversations with
Recorded.
kids.
And then one-on-ones with students. Oh, students with a,
Sometimes
No, you're the.
I have a perspective maybe. Sometimes the kids that have an F in our class, we're not the only F, they have an F in so many classes. And when I talk to them one-on-one, they're so overwhelmed that they just give up. You know what I mean? And so I'll give them some clear directives of, if you do this, and this, and this, you'll have a D. And they feel, I don't know, you know how you feel sometimes you just get so deep into it that you just are like, there's no way I can redeem this. And
Yeah,
so,
feel lost because
yeah,
it's too much.
especially if you have Fs in several classes. And
Yeah.
when they open up Canvas, it just poofs up like 100 missing assignments from every class. And so I
Well,
think those
that's pretty
one-on-ones
encouraging,
can, because I can feel overwhelmed and just say, screw it.
though. Yeah, no.
You know,
they
I
all
mean,
just do.
there's no way I can fix this, but if I can give them just a couple of, because I know the weights of the assignments and which ones they could do that would be the most effective and which ones.
Yeah, the larger projects.
Yeah,
or-
so anyway, I think that those help.
No, I agree with that. I've had those conversations too, where you just gotta let them know, hey, if you're looking at everything at once, it's gonna be overpowering.
Yeah.
And if you just do this today.
Yeah. And, yeah, when
Yeah.
they open up their Canvas and I see how many missing assignments they have, I'm like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
I also like print them individually, like what they're missing, and it's categorized.
The missing
they-
assignment reports.
Yeah, and I gave them like that whole week before grades are due to catch up. And it worked, like,
First semester, I was doing it monthly,
that's good.
and it
Good
helped
help.
somewhat, but again, this is kind of going back to the one-on-ones, because as you're handing them out, you can say, hey, you know, you can be better than this, or these are the ones to look at. Yeah, I don't know of anything else to do with that as long as the 50% was in place. Has anybody just flat out said, like, I'm pretty lenient with late work too, like still giving them more than 50%? I think probably a lot of us are, but has anybody just flat out said, this is a firm due date, after
I
that,
have.
I'm just marking it 50%?
I have one assignment that's a weekly assignment. It's
Does
due.
it like, I mean, but do you see like that working for students to actually get it done, or is it the same ones that are just like, eh?
No, they'll actually get done, because it's too much work to open. I told you.
That's what I tell them.
At this term, it's coming up, there won't be anything. So if you don't have an excused absence, period, I'm just not opening it out. Because you're sitting, you have 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you have all this time to get done.
That is the frustrating part too, just
I was
watching.
gonna say, you guys have so
Waste
much
3
to do.
hours.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
sometimes
finish
I'll put even in the grade book, student was present in class
Sad.
for blah, 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 and did nothing. I don't know if anybody reads that, but it's in
I was
there.
wondering that too, but yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I put them in the, as classroom, cause I use that as my documentation
What do you mean?
for
Say that again.
classroom, like if they're not doing
Oh,
something.
classroom
Put it as
referral.
like a classroom referral.
I have a student right now that we were doing a sewing project and he's done nothing. And I put in a classroom referral, just so it could be documented that.
Yeah, that's what I,
They-
like, even if they're like late.
Self-repair
or
would come back and be like, hey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
like
way
this
little
person on
Johnny
this
is
day
failing.
ate chips and was on their phone the entire class period and did nothing. You know, not for Mr. Funk to do anything, but for it to just be,
Do parents get notified of?
not on
referrals?
classroom.
Not on
ones.
classroom.
Not a classroom. one, it's
But
just-
what's nice about it is then, when it does come up and you do have a referral,
Mhm.
all of those classroom referrals are there and present, so that
Yeah.
whoever the administrator is can look at all the things that were,
Okay.
it's like a
Yeah.
way to document.
They're like, looks like little Bobby's been playing on.
Our
the phone."
administrators alerted, remember, with the classroom referral. They're only alerted with the,
I don't know, that's a good question.
I'm pretty sure.
I think they, yeah, I don't know if it alerts them for those ones. Cause it asks, it does the pop-up, do you sure you want this just as a classroom?
Yeah, I don't think it does alert that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's helpful, if I were an administrator and I saw those kind of things that were just notes that were
Oh,
in
yeah.
there, when they go to talk to the student, when there's an official referral,
Yeah.
they have
Well,
background.
no, yeah, I
you know?
agree right there. I mean, that's just like any manager,
Yeah.
doing documentation.
Yeah.
You can't fire me.
Yeah,
We've had-
right.
We've had 7 discussions now. Rob.
Right. Right.
Hold my coffee and watch that.
All right. Well, if anybody comes up with the miracle cure to that one, please share.
I do have to
You can
say
wait.
though, I have way fewer failing students than I did 2 years ago. I have a
So-
lot more kids, it feels like to me, the kids that have actually gone through middle school,
Mhm.
they don't even think, they never even mention the 50% to me. Like, I have so fewer kids that are failing.
I've
You have
only, maybe in the last 2 years, had 2 students bring up 50%.
To what?
Bring up that rule to me.
Yeah, where, remember when they used to bring it up and remind you?
No, I
Daily.
never, I mean, I don't even think since.
Yeah,
COVID
I've had
that-
kids, it just seems like in the last couple of years, and I'm making hypothesis here, but it seems like the kids that have been through middle school, remember we had a few years where they weren't in middle school because of
Yeah.
COVID. And it just seems like now that they've been through middle school, they come in a little more prepared, and I don't have as many kids that are, I don't have to put 50% in as much, they're,
I will say the last couple of years, I've had more well behaved.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Middle school's
take that with a grain
important.
of salt, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Middle school is really important.
But I mean,
After
seriously, I
teaching
mean,
it for
like,
15 years, it's very important.
there you go. I don't know if this affects you, Paul, or Juice, but, there's a data collection, and I think that might just be 2 and 3 hour classes that had to be completed, and I think the due date for that is in April. I'll have to go back and check. So if not for you guys, and just a reminder for Culinary here. It was in the links in the March form, or agenda.
Is it asking about dual credits and things like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it asked about that, and was a certification offered
Yeah.
to the student, and if so, you got like a drop down to pick from.
Okay.
Did they complete?
Okay.
Did you offer work-based learning or
Okay.
project-based learning? Which,
I don't
You
think I
don't-
have to fill that out. But
Okay.
when we had that cluster meeting, Sean gave us like a half sheet that had those questions on it, didn't she?
that was for your, I think, year-end, checkout, like, was that the one where,
It said something about, have you improved 1%? Was
Yeah.
the last question. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do
That's
with
for
that.
you.
yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
It's like
How
more
are
of a
you
personal
improving
thing, but
1%?
at the end of the year, she'll probably ask for reflection on that. So I think she handed that to you as a reminder, this is what you said.
She didn't give it to you and you and you and you?
No, yeah, I got one.
Oh.
Yeah, mine was increased, no, mine was increased,
Here's the 10%.
dual credit, which we did, so that's good. And then also increased, it was either MTHS or CTSO participation.
Yeah, and there was something about torchbearer on there.
Yeah,
There was something like that.
that's another one, because I mean, honestly, that's on you. Oh, that's coming up too, end of March.
Yeah,
Torchbearers are due, so March 31st, so, I don't know.
I don't know
Just
if I'm
going through this, watching students for 3 hours not do assignments, I'm like, I don't wanna keep up. There's probably like 5 students that,
There's hundreds of them right now. They're just volunteering to scrub walls,
I don't know.
especially before spring
I
break.
do give out torchbearers, even though I'm maybe not supposed to, and I did
No,
nominate
you
kids
should.
for the National Technical Honor Society, even though I might not. I just do it because I don't know if I'm supposed to or
If they
not,
meet
so
the
I do it.
criteria,
Yeah.
I have 2 kids in the National Honor Society. I'm very excited about that.
I just feel a little awkward sometimes giving out the torchbearer, like,
Oh,
at the end, like with the other certificates, and then it's like, oh, this is your favorites. It's just like, I don't
Yeah, the
know
way you have
about
to give them out in
this. It's just like,
class.
I just feel a little weird.
I don't give
So
them
like
out.
last year I nominated a lot, and then like the year before that I only thought I was supposed to nominate 1. I didn't know how many. But like this year I'm like, I don't know. Even though I have good students, but I just feel like if you don't
I
get
feel
one, it's
awkward.
kind of, yeah.
I'll point blank tell them, why didn't I get one? Because.
Right.
You didn't make the criteria.
Hold on. Get my notes. Where, you said that was in the March?
Yeah.
Yeah, March agenda, the link, for Torchbearer, I think is in Carrie Talks. And then and I think the data collection is there as well.
Okay. How many hours should we put for work-based learning for the data?
153 or 159. When you go to that,
Uh-huh.
just click on my tab.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually sat down and I looked at the weeks that were open and multiplied it by 3 hours, 3 days.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
So Gusto, do you get that email about the kids that don't have to take the final for 1 hour classes?
Yeah.
Is it certain kids or?
If you have an 80%, but they have to fill out some paper and then they have to give it to us by a certain time.
So if they're already getting a B, then they can
Yeah, if
just.
they have an
skip it.
80%
Yeah.
or higher, they don't have to take the final. But they have to go get a paper from somewhere in the high school and they have to fill it out and their parent has to sign it and then they have to give it to you, like me or you, the Friday before finals week, so we know.
I didn't think that applied to,
It doesn't
us.
apply to you guys,
Okay.
It's just.
just 1 hour.
Okay.
Seems like an awful lot of steps for a
Well, mine's
kid
a
to take.
2-week project, so that means they just get to sit there for 2 weeks and stare at me. That's awesome.
Yeah. I
You know
don't
what, you
why-
should just make that a year project and make the final like a 20 question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Because you know what, I changed
Spell my
my
last name.
final, when I found that out, I changed my
Okay,
final.
so you would- yeah, I can see.
This is horrible. Is it HR or RH? I get it wrong every time. Nerd. Nerd. N-U-R-T. Nerd. Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're right there. Oh, now I know what you're talking
Yeah, we go off in our own world sometimes, sorry.
RH is talking about human resources, what's he thinking of?
It went way over your head.
That's not the first time I'm like.
She still got that 10% on her mind. Why me?
Don't ask that anymore.
Just you.
I don't ask why me anymore. Just accept it.
You know,
Well, a week and a half, and then we're on spring break, and then we're in April. So, after today, we'll have 2 more PLC meetings. Only thing I really think of for April, and jump in, guys, if you got other topics. But, I mean, finals and practicals, you know, if you're offering hands-on, practicals are all coming up in May. So, you know, just setting up the students to succeed, like the end of first semester, we set aside basically a week, good morning, where students could go in the kitchen and practice, and that way, that gave them a little bit more success in the hands-on, and then just study guides, Kahoots, things like that for the actual finals. So, I don't know if we can discuss strategies for that next month, and then anything else that anybody can think of.
I'm with that.
No, because the only thing I'm really dealing with right now is just those lovely emails from Kim. about the attendance.
Oh, the attendance, yeah, but, so, what do you think about that? I mean, I think that it's a kind of a good thing, because it's holding them accountable.
But I'm disappointed. You know, the request that I made for you for those email addresses, no response at all.
Oh, when you reached out to the,
Yes.
sending school counselors, she reached
Oh.
out to sending school counselors.
And so those are my biggest, issues right now. They come in when they feel like it.
The Zionsville?
They just, they show up.
When you send out that email, do you like copy, Carrie Donna?
I didn't copy
Yeah,
Carrie.
I was just curious.
I'll copy her on those.
That might actually, I don't know if that'll help or not, but at least you'll see that you're doing it.
I send the emails because they come in every day. And one of them, when they come in today,
The 3, or
Yeah.
the 3 guys.
I have to send one because he's on the way to be removed for the number of classes.
Yeah.
But most of them are targets and they say traffic every day. And I'm like, you coming into the same place every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know what traffic you're running into.
No, I've got 2 on attendance agreements right now.
Or what you want to.
Actually, there might be more.
I want it to happen a little quicker. Just so that, you can go ahead and get them. But outside of that, those are probably the other things that we're dealing with.
Well, I think, you know, the 50% rule kind of also makes the attendance part, or in the past at least, has made it harder to hold on to, just for that fact that, you know, they knew that they're gonna get, you know, that anyway. But at least, you know, hold them accountable for attendance, that's taking, you know, that away, so.
And then, I think too, that there needs to be an explanation, because like I once through in my midday class, who pretty much goes off on Nicole every time she's being asked to be,
So I think I know what you're talking
Yes.
about.
and it's like, you realize that this is not only a school requirement, but it's a state requirement. Like, you're required to be here so many days. And their thought is what difference does it make if I have a good grade in the class? And I'm like, you don't have a good grade in the class, because you did half the work and I gave you 50% for the other half.
some students are actually, especially since COVID, are more keen on online completion. You know, that's why so many college courses are offered that way anyway.
Well, half the classes, you know, I need to finish my admits, and I was like, yeah, I need to finish it at home, because that's where it's supposed to be done at.
Yeah, it can be frustrating whenever you're trying to get stuff done in class and they're working on other things. If they, you know, kind of see how classes study hall moves,
Yes.
that is frustrating, I agree.
We're not in the kitchen, so why do I have to do anything else? I just feel like I'm creating a quiz right now. You have this lovely quiz that is due. It's due right now. It's not an open book, and so hopefully you read the chapter when I gave the option yesterday.
I wonder what our classes would look like if there was no 50%. Imagine that.
It might be a little, you know.
Just be interesting, you know, hypothetically.
Well, I mean, just go back to before COVID, how they were done.
Right.
Did you still have a lot of students that didn't go silence?
It seems like the same ones that fail now are the same ones that did before in that aspect.
Yeah.
But just seems like it breeds laziness. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
Breeds
I think
laziness.
so.
So some kids that could be
The ones that are on the fence.
the kids
Yeah.
that could be better
Mhm.
aren't better. They're passing, but they're not their best. You know what I mean? Like they're not their best, and you know they could be their best, but it breeds that laziness. You know?
I like what Edmonton does for certain, they all wanna be on it, because how quickly you can complete a class, and that also, is laziness. Let me just hurry and get this done, regardless of reading it or learning or doing anything.
Yeah, what's the retention like?
Yeah,
They just copy and paste and Google search it.
yeah,
That's it.
because there's no policing of it really. So I don't like anything, to me, you almost have to be so far off, or so far gone to get on there, but a lot of these students aren't. They just, I don't wanna do this, and so they just, I wanna be here, I wanna be done with school, I have these learning credits already, why can't, you don't have these?
Well, they're retired, so.
I think about after they leave school. You
That's
know,
what I worry about.
That's what I worry about, more than the grade. I mean, if I look at the grade book, yes.
Because you
What
can
I
have
think
bad
about
grades
is
and
like,
still succeed in
how
life.
about those kids that could be better? What, are they gonna go out into the workforce and just be good enough? You know, like, I don't know.
I was gonna feel like.
Well, are they
you're
gonna be able to hold
crushed.
it up?
Yeah, you know, I don't know that it puts a reality in it, and I don't know, I'm just talking hypothetically about it.
Oh, you're talking like you went to an actual school where they held you for every
Yeah.
last grade that you
Because
got.
like the person that's upset because they're passing and that one you said is giving Nicole a hard time, what are they gonna do when they get a job and they tell their boss, but when I'm here, I do the best, you know what I mean, so what you can show up, not show
Where's
up.
the other half of my check?
Yeah, so I don't know,
Well, you only
I
got
mean, I know we
50%
talk
of it.
about it,
Yeah.
complain about
Sorry.
it, but really the big picture is just the concern for the student and the whole welfare of their life, like, how are they gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah, makes sense. Timekeeper, how we doing?
Got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Any half-court shots, any buzzer beaters, anything else?
We hoping to open, what was it, we hope to open another week and stuff.
We're hoping, well, after break. Huh? Well, the new dishwasher should hopefully be in next week. So, with the schedule that we had for the cafe, that would put us open 2 weeks after break for our last menu, which would be the single mile menu. Which I love.
You mean close up shop then?
Do what?
You mean close up shop till after break?
Yeah,
On the
well, we're
website.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
So like this was,
Yeah, let me go ahead and do it now while I
Yeah.
forget about it.
oh, okay, I got you. Thank you. I didn't even think about
So
that.
the 11th and 12th are open, or the 18th and 19th?
11, 12, 18, 19.
Oh,
And then we're closed for the year so we can get the students ready for finals
Okay.
and practicals. We used to push right up to May, but it was just,
Yeah.
a cluster to try and give them time to, practice and get everything done. So, that's the game plan. Alright, guys. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the day. Fight the good fight.